Okay, this video is about the Robbinsdale course template, the settings for your course, and also how to back up your course so that you can save a copy of it if you want to take it with you or keep it somewhere else. Here's the template on the screen, and this template is what you want to start with as you develop a course in Robbinsdale. The main things to point out about it are that this template is created by the Moodle administrator, and so you can't create a new course yourself. You would request that of the technology department. And so when you get your course, you'll see there's this video which is really a placeholder, and what it is it's an introduction to the template, so you could watch that, but it also is a model for you because you'll want to start you won't want to have many videos on your course's main page when a student goes in, because the more videos you have, the more it slows down how quickly it loads. But you will want to have a course tour that shows students around your course right there front and center so they can't miss it. And then this top section, it says topic outline. It is also called a block, has some things in it. You'll want to have your course syllabus. Now that could simply be a page like this one, where when you click on it, there's a video here, because video is great for students, and so I would recommend a video syllabus where you talk and you walk them through every part of your course. I'll go back to the template here. I would also, at the top, there's going to be a news forum I'd mentioned. That's automatically going to be in every course. If you have some news for students during your course, that's where you post it. Very important. It should be set up so that they even get an email or a pop-up notification when they come into Moodle that there's been some new message posted there, and that's an important way for you to communicate with students. These next two are not are optional. They're not required. I like to have a course resources page in some of my courses, which might have a list of websites, or it might have if there's some books, some articles that they read during the course that the activities refer to. You might want to have a bibliography in there. An off-topic is a forum I add sometimes just for things that students can post for the whole class, and the class can choose whether or not to be subscribed to it, so they don't have to get these messages. Another thing to mention about the template is every block or every topic section, here I just have generic names, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and so on, has 3 sections. It has an introduction, where, as you could see in our course that we were just in, the introduction usually just tells you the objective for the course. So that's where you list the objective. There won't be much there. Like, for instance, in this example, you will learn the basics of Google Docs and presentations and learn to place a link to a shared Google Doc in your Moodle Sandbox course. So it very quickly tells the learner what they're going to accomplish in this section of your course. So that introduction is important. We'll go back to the blank template. Main content. That next section there is where you would put articles they need to read, videos they need to read. You could put some activities in there, some little short quizzes for formative assessment that would tell them, give them a chance to see how they're doing with the content. That's where the bulk of your things will go, in this main content section. And then by the end of the unit is a place for any kind of wrap-up activities, maybe a discussion forum, maybe a quiz. If you're teaching a hybrid course, by the end of the unit might just make a note that, we have a face-to-face test on this date. Make sure you're there. So that by the end of the unit is really that wrap-up, that summative assessment or reflection that would happen. So that's the course template in general, and that's your raw material you're starting with. I would like to show you in the settings. And so when you're in your course, you see some blocks on the left side. There's always these quick links to Google Apps, Robbinsdale Area School's website. Below the navigation block, and I'll have to scroll down in this course to get there, is the settings block. And in the settings, there's one called Edit Settings. And I'll click on that. And then we're going to walk through some of these things. So at the top, are some things that will be set up for you, and I'd recommend you not change them. They'll be the full name of your course. They will be a shortened name of your course, and that's what shows up on that little block for students, the My Courses. It shows up right there. The short name of the course shows up there. ID number and course summary will probably be empty. As you go down right underneath that, most of our courses are in the topics format, and that allows you to put different topics in the blocks. There are a couple, another one that might be possible is the weekly format if you want to organize your course that way, specifically by week, but it will put dates in there, and so I tend to shy away from that and just put dates on my actual descriptions. The number of weeks or topics is how many it will show, and I want to show you an example of this. So I'm going to go into our course that we're in right now, and I'm going to go into the settings there. Right now, the course by default is showing 10 topics, and so I want to change it to 8 because I only have 8 topics in this whole course. And I will go ahead and go all the way to the bottom just to show you the effect that that has, and I'll say Save Changes. Now, when you come into my course, you see 1, 2, 3, sorry to scroll so quickly, 7, 8, and there's the end. So if it would have shown 10 or more, I'll go back to the other course here that we were in. Sorry to dizzy you by going back and forth to courses. Here's just this blank template again. This one's set to show 20 right now, but you can see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to the bottom so you can see it. It's showing 20. And so when you're done building your course, you want to only have it show. If you only have 16 blocks, only have it show the 16 blocks. There's no reason to waste space on the screen. I'm going to go back into Edit Settings again. We'd like to look at a few more of these settings. Okay, the course start date can be adjusted to your semester, and so you can change that. Hidden sections, we don't really mess with that. The one that I'd like you to look at here, we're going to skip about news items to show two. The show gradebook to students. In Robbinsdale Area Schools, we use Infinite Campus for our gradebook right now, so you have a decision to make. You could choose to hide the gradebook. One nice thing about leaving the gradebook showing for students is they can quickly see all the assignments for the whole course, and so you should really look at it both ways, using one of your practice students or talking with one of your students to see what they see. Because you have a decision to make. The grade in Moodle is probably not going to be the grade for the course. It's not, because there might be other things, offline things, but it's at least worth considering. The maximum upload side legacy course files, you will not need to do anything with these. Groups. This group section is for a more advanced Moodle course, but you can set up your class into groups, and so you'd have a decision to make whether or not you allow groups. And so by default it's no groups, but if you decide to add some groups to your course, then you would change that. Availability. This course is available to students. You want to make sure that it's set to this course is available to students before the course starts, or no one will be able to enroll. And it's not really even harmful to leave it that way now, because without an enrollment key or a way to enroll, students can't just start getting into your course when you're developing it. So, okay, student progress. One way to track student progress is built into Moodle, and it's a little checkbox system off to the right side, and you probably noticed it during this course. And so by default in your course it's going to be disabled. If you choose to enable that, then every assignment or activity you give, you'll have to kind of tell the conditions that a student could check off that box, and I think by default it just lets them check it off when they want to. It's really a self-tracking thing for students. It doesn't affect their grade in the course, but it's more a way for them to remember where they are in the course. And role renaming, I would not mess with those either. So that's basically the course settings in a nutshell. I will enable this just so you can see it. Enabled the student progress, and we'll go ahead and save changes and go back to the course. And we'll turn the editing off in the course. And you know what? I'm going to have to go into my other course for you to see it. Let's see. Here you go. You can see if I turn, I can switch myself to a student. I changed it to professional learner. I changed the name. And so then you could see they could check off boxes as they go. That's what that progress tracker does. Okay. All right, I'm going to return to my normal role. The last thing I'd like to show you is making a backup of your course. And so over here on the left side in the course settings is backup. I'll click that. Okay, gives you a number of options. I generally like to include any enrolled users in my backup. Now if I'm just making this course and no one's ever used it, it's not going to affect anything. There's no users in the course right now. So then I'll go ahead and way over here on the right, you have to find this next. There's a few steps to go through, but it walks you right through there. Again, you always have the option to include user data or not. Since you're just developing your course and you're making a backup, that's fine. Over on the left, you'll see what this is these are all the different activities and things that have been added to the course. And so I need to scroll all the way to the bottom here, and then I need to say next. So it's backing up every single thing in that course. Now the X's are not a bad thing. And at this point, I usually leave the name alone. It gives a really lengthy name for this Moodle backup, and it has to do with the date. This is 2012. 0203 means February 3rd, 2012. And so the naming has to do with the course name, and it's a backup. And the 1218 is the time of day. So it's fairly simple, but it's a way to organize your backups. And so if I go all the way to the bottom and say perform backup, it will take just a moment to do that. And here it says the backup file was successfully created. I'll click continue, and then it will take me to a screen that shows my different course backups. And so here I can see right here I have two backups. I have one from Thursday, February 2nd of February 2012, and I have one today, Friday the 3rd of February 2012, and that's the one we just did. And so this is very nice. If you wanted to make a copy to put on a USB drive or take home with you or something, you could just click download, and it will give you an option to save the file. We could say OK, and where's my screen here? There we go. And so I could choose where to save it. If I wanted it on my desktop, for instance, I could change the name of it if I wanted, and then I could just click save. And I could do that same thing with a USB drive if I wanted. And it happens pretty quickly. Those download files are not huge because all your videos aren't really in the course. They're just embedded. So there's maybe more than you wanted to know about the Moodle template and the settings and backing up your course, all in less than 14 minutes.